Hey loves, and welcome back. Today's video will be making this lovely gown that has been trending for a while. If you are interested, keep on watching and kindly give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you are yet to do so. Without further ado, let's dive into the video. So I made use of 1 yard of a crepe fabric and 2 yard of an Ankara fabric. You also be needing your bias for this. So to fold, this is how I am going to fold the fabric because I have 1 yard and I have to manage it. Okay, so what I'll do now is to fold it this way. So I'm not going to fold it like this. Okay, no, I won't fold it like this. This is how I am going to fold. So I'll open it up like so, and then I'm going to fold it this other way. I hope that makes sense. So this is how I'm going to fold it. Okay, so after folding it, this is what I have. To know the amount of fabric to fold, by the way, this is the back and there is a zipper allowance of 1.5 inch. To know the amount of fabric to fold, divide the biggest part of your body measurement. Mine is 9, and then add about 2 inch to that. So after doing that, I have a starting line, and from this starting line I'm going to mark the bust line, which is 10 inches, and then I'm going to mark the waist, which is 16 inches. I am going to mark the hip, which is 24 inches, and then from the hip line I came down by 3 inches. So I'm going to just mark that, and that ½ inch will be for joining. Okay, because we'll be joining it to the down parts basically. So that's the bust, the waist, the hip, and then the length of the top. So now what I have for the length in total is 27 inches, just in case you want yours to look like mine. So now you divide your shoulder by 2, mark it here, and then come down by 1 inch for the shoulder slope. Then go in by 3 inches for your neck width. So I use 3 inches. Okay, and then for the neck depth I also use 3 inches. So go ahead and mark out your own desired neck width and neck depth. So this neck depth that I marked is for the front piece. So for the back piece I am going to use 2 inches, and I'm going to mark it and connect it to the neck width just like this. So after connecting all these, next thing I'll be doing is from the shoulder slope I'm going to mark my armhole. So now if you want it to be a sleeveless, you have to minus 1 inch or ½ inch from your armhole measurement, so that it will not be too opened. I hope that makes sense. Okay, but if you're attaching a sleeve, then just go ahead and mark out your exact armhole measurements. So I just marked it, and then what I'll do now is to mark the midpoint, then go in by ½ inch. Then I'll mark my bust line here, my bust measurements rather, and then I'll connect the armhole. Okay, so for the back armhole you are not going in by ½ inch, so I just connected it as you can see. So now I'm going to mark my waist measurements, I'm going to mark my hip, and on the length I'll also mark the hip measurements. Connect all these lines together. After connecting, I'll go ahead and add ½ inch to 2 inches to this pattern. So now, just in case you want yours to also have a dart, all you need to do is to go in by your bust span. Okay, mine is 3½ inches, and I just marked it, and I came down by 1 inch from the bust line. And then on the hip line I'll go up by 2 inches, okay, from the hip line, and then I'm going to connect it like this, and I'll take ½ inch on both sides. Then I'm going to connect it. Okay, so if you want yours to have a dart, this is just what you have to do, and then you replace this 1 inch on the waistline. Okay, so you just stitch it down when you are stitching, but I don't want a dart on mine, so I'm not going to use this. Okay, so now to get rid of zipper bulge at the back, I just extended the waistline and I went in by ½ inch, and then I'm going to connect it slantedly, just the way you see me doing. So after curving it out, we will proceed to then cut this out. So I'll first of all cut out the back neckline, and then I'll add ½ inch at the shoulder, and then I'll cut out the back armhole first, like so, and then I'll now cut out the side. So after doing this, I'm going to lift the front piece alone up, and then I cut out the neckline. Then I'm going to cut out the front armhole. So after doing that, this is what it is looking like. I'll go ahead and also cut out the back piece. So after doing this, I am going to keep the front piece aside, and I'll pin down the zipper area for the back piece. Okay, so for now I'll just go ahead and hold it down with my pin, just the zipper side. After holding it down, I'll open this up, and then I'll place the front piece on it, right side facing right side, and then I'm going to arrange it. I'll make sure that they are equal on all sides. So you notice that the armhole for the front is deeper than that of the back, okay, and the neckline as well. So what I'll do now is to decide where I want to be lower and where I want to be higher. Okay, so I want the right side to be lower, so I'm going to be cutting on the right side. Okay, so go ahead and decide on yours as well. So what I'll do now is to come up by 5 inches from the side, like this. Okay, so I'll place my tape and I'll mark 5 inches. So make sure that your fabric is like aligning. So I just marked 5 inches, and this is the midpoint. Okay, so I'm going to connect these 5 inches to meet the midpoint in a curvy way, like this. So you can use your curve rule to do this, okay, but I just use my free hand. So I just curved it out like so, and then after curving, I'm going to carefully arrange it properly, and then I'm going to cut it out, just like this. So we have created that high and low effects that it has. So after doing that, now I'll work on the back piece. So I am going to attach my zipper from here and stop around somewhere here, and then I'm also going to stitch that side and stop around somewhere here. So I'll leave 1 inch at the bottom side. After that, but before you attach your zipper, ensure you turn your neckline with a bias. So I am going to turn it with my bias, and I'll show you how. So this is my bias. So you place your bias like this on it, okay, and then you pin it down. So I'm just pinning it down for the purpose of the video. So I am going to just stitch it, and then I'll turn it over, and I'll repeat the same thing for the armhole area as well. I'll place the bias like this. Okay, I'll just stitch this first side. Okay, so I'll stitch it like so. After stitching, I am going to flip it over, just like this. So I'll repeat the same thing for the front piece. I am going to use my bias to turn the neckline and also the armhole. So after doing that, this is what the front is looking like, so beautiful, and I am even yet to iron it. And this is the armhole area, and this is the back piece. I have attached the zipper and fixed the bias as well. So this is the zipper. I am also yet to iron this. So what I'll do now is to place this right side facing right side again, like this, and then I'm going to stitch the shoulder. So after stitching the shoulder, I am going to stitch the side. So you can see that our markings are still there. So I'll just go ahead and take out the 2 inches that I used earlier on. Okay, basically I'll just go ahead and mark out my body measurement. Okay, so I did not take out the whole 2 inches. Okay, I think I took out about 1.5 inch and left half inch for ease. Okay, ease allowance is different from stitching allowance. So I just went ahead to mark it and I'll stitch it all the way down. So after stitching the two sides, this is what it is looking like. So beautiful. So I'll measure from the shoulder to the length. So you are measuring this short side, please, not the long side. Okay, this is the side you measure, the short side. So I just measured and I have 22 inches, so I'll minus 22 inches from my full length. Hope you understand. So I'll also measure this side as well. So what I have for the front of the dress is obviously what I have for the back as well. Okay, I hope you understand, or you can just measure it all around. So this is the 1 inch I left earlier on, like I explained. So what we'll do now, and this is the ankara that I cut out. Okay, after minusing 22 inches from my full length, I hemmed one side of the bottom part, and on this side I'm going to run a loose stitch. After running the loose stitch, I'm going to go ahead and gather carefully gather this ankara piece. So this is what I have after I was done gathering it. Okay, I made sure that I cut out times 2 of what I have when I measured the bottom part of the dress. Okay, this depends on how much fabric you have anyway. So what I'll do now is to fix it from that zipper side, that 1 inch that I asked you to leave. You go ahead and attach it all the way around, just the way you see me doing. It is not difficult at all. Okay, so from the 1 inch that you left around that zipper area, that's where you use to attach it all the way around. So after attaching it, this is what I have. So now you will notice that the back part is opened, right? That's the part side. So you go ahead and stitch it down. After stitching it, this is what I have for the dress. So you have to make sure that this part is aligning. Can you see how mine is aligning? Can you see? If it is not aligning, the length of the gown will not be equal. I hope you understand. So guys, this is it, and I ended up adding a sleeve to mine, but if you don't need a sleeve, this is how it should be. So guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one.